I think all of those things are part of the university, but also part of life. Maybe unfortunately, things like liability, insurance, those don't go away. But you know, you have to at the same time learn how to play the game, in a sense. Like my experience running a company, you know, especially because you know if you have a small company, I don't have the money to pay someone to be my tour manager. I'm the tour manager. I book the tours. I have to make sure everybody's there. I print the thing out that's gonna, especially at the beginning, you know, towards the end we had a bit more freedom with that. But if you want to make it happen, you have to be able to make it happen, and you wear a lot of hats, you know, and it's challenging. It's definitely challenging. You kind of have to have different brains going at the same time, a very logical brain of like, okay, I'm going to, this is, you know, I have to do these things to be able, it's the means to an end, and then also have your creative brain that is free. Make a space for yourself to be free so you can actually be creative. It's a very difficult thing to do, but possible, definitely. So, you know, working as best you can within restrictions and learning how to do that well is I think, in my experience, is a good skill to have. It's a really good skill to have.
I can sympathize with all these different situations. I think I was pretty lucky. Even if it was a school that functioned with a company, so it didn't feel like an institution because of the kind of teaching we had and ongoing exposure. And after that was very much, I didn't have really what you guys have to help you get information. I really had to figure a lot of things on my own. So it was curiosity to study in different places, and I went to the States. I went different places to study. Again, I needed to catch up on my training. So I think there are challenges in each situation. If you're in an institution that has its own set of challenges because you have the same teachers, you have the same group around you, you're in the same building, or you have the same kind of studios. I think the responsibility is, again, every chance you have to, if we're talking about the box, maybe even the building, the university, to really take workshops outside, to encourage you to really go see a lot of artwork. Michael talked about dance earlier, but I would also encourage you to go see theater, visual art. I mean, this is where you're going to learn about art more than just your own art form. I think it's important that you open yourselves to observe and see a lot of art. And you're talking about creating in the school. I feel that a performer, a dancer, is not necessarily a choreographer. Same as a musician is not necessarily a composer. I understand that at a very young time in your careers that maybe there are a lot of fantastic dancers out there that are not getting work, and people start creating their own work. The problem with that is, it's not that it's a problem, but the creativity and being a creator is a different thing than being an interpreter. An interpreter is also a creator in its own ways because now, as we know, performers collaborate with choreographers a lot of time, and that's good. But I think it's important. I think everything that you all said is of value. Getting very strong training is extremely important. Whatever maybe you decide with that training, like Brandy decided to go to India because she thought, okay, this is what I need to do. But I've struggled with, because I was learning so many things at the same time, that I just feel now that I'm starting to understand my training, and I see other people that have had a chance to have very, very strong fundamental training, that from there you can really spring to other places. So you also have for yourself, be true to yourself, say, do I really have a strong desire to create something, or do I need to make choreography because I need to make choreography? So there are very different, have to see what your real strong impulse is as well. But meanwhile, I think that education in all of its terms is extremely important, because this is what in the end that you're going to be drawing from to do either organize a tour or perform or know how to talk to your collaborators. So yeah, there are boxes there still. I mean, there will always be, but I think you have to see how you feel inside of whatever structure you make for yourself, if that makes any sense.
Brandy, anything you want to add to that?
Just a little.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I have a really healthy relationship to irreverence, which should still be respectful to spaces and people and institutions, but I worked so much in the last couple of years in public space, and I don't shut down the public space because I'm really interested in membranes and how we sort of interact with our spaces and each other in our spaces. So I've just learned with dealing with institutions that the art of negotiation, I know that no means yes. I just have to show them it a couple of times or in a different way. And like, you know, if your professor is telling you to do guerrilla theater, one of the bases of guerrilla theater is not asking people if you can do it. So go for it, my friends.